How are we all today? So nice. I missed you guys. I missed you so much. So nice to see you. I hope you can see me. Happy New Year. And I want to wish you all a Happy New Year. G'day. Happy New Year, full of everything that you've ever wanted. I really, really appreciate seeing you all. And I just hope that 2022 brings you more happiness than you even wanted. So yeah, g'day to all of you. Every single one of you. You know, I can't wish you enough success, health, and happiness. So I'm yes, and this is my first tour out. You know, for some of you, it'll be our first tour of the new year. I missed you too. Oh, thank you. And I'm excited. I'm excited to show you a new city in a new part of Australia, and there's a lot to see. There's a lot to see, and we've got quite a few people on today, which is nice. And it's going to be a great day. So thank you so much for joining. Yes, thanks, Jenny. What do you think? It's my New Year shirt. It's my New Year shirt with the colorful popsicles or icy poles, however you like to call them. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. I feel kind of relaxed. Very summery. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Robin. So yes, very summery, Katie. Absolutely. So I'll begin in about 6 minutes. But I'm excited. We've got a jam-packed walk for you today. I've got so much to show you. You're going to learn so much more about this city that many of you didn't even know much about. I'm in love with this city. I think it's a beautiful city. I've only lived in Australia. The major cities in Australia, I've only lived in Melbourne and Sydney, which are two beautiful cities as well. But this city surprised me in its beauty. I was very, very I'm enamored by the culture and by the weather and by everything around here. So let me just quickly, Marlene just came back from Patrick Toomey in, oh my God, -30 in Banff. What a switch. Well, here it's 26 degrees Celsius. It's nice. How's Liv? Jill's asking. Liv's good. Yeah, she's catching up on a lot of rest, lots of sleep. She really needs it. She's worked very hard. And yeah, she's just recharging. Hey, Lorraine. So thanks, Marlene, for the early tip. So it's going to be, thanks, TM. I appreciate it. It's very hard for me, hey, Michaela, nice to see you. Very hard for me to just not work because it's like I work 7 days a week, not just with Heygo, but with working on other stuff. And it's just very hard to just take, in this case, over a week off and just not do anything. It's very, very tough. So I was itching to get back to it. I was excited for today, and it's nice. Christine, we had a tour in Brisbane by Mark. Oh, yes. Beverly contacted me and told me that. Yes, Mark. I didn't even know there was a guide in Brisbane called Mark. So there you go. Well, I'm welcoming Mark to the platform, and I hope to see much more of him. I'm sure he's amazing. I don't know Mark. No, Christine. No, he's new to Heygo. Patrick says hi and happy. Oh, thanks, Patrick. Hi back to you. Shana Tova back to you, Risa. So hello to all of you. I'm really excited to see you. We'll start in about 4 minutes. Brisbane surprised me in so many different ways. It's full of arts, the weather's amazing. The culture is incredible. It's just incredible. There used to be a guide called David. You're right. There used to be David Hale in Brisbane. And I've chatted to him a few times. It's sad that he left because I would have caught up with him and collaborated with him here. It's unfortunate. But I tried to get in touch with him, but I couldn't find his details. So, no, it is what it is. Would have been nice. So I'm confused, Reese is saying. This is part 1 to a 2-session in Brisbane? No, there's only... Oh, yes, this is part 1. So after this, 30 minutes after this tour is done, we're going to go to we're going to explore the Brisbane Wheel. It's a giant wheel. A big wheel. I'm not sure about giants, but it's a big wheel just in the center, in South Bank, which is a suburb in Brisbane. And we're going to just explore the whole city from the wheel. So that'll be fun. That'll be nice. Hello, Tariq and Oliver Bear. Hello to all of you. I'm so look, I've got a lot of people on today. But I want to welcome... Yes, thanks, TM. So if you can click on that link that TM provided, you can find the... Is that where Eileen, you have beat me to it. We'll talk about the expo shortly. But yes, that is right. That is what put Brisbane on the map in 1988, Eileen. And Kathy, you loved Brisbane when you visited in 2007. Beautiful. Well, there's nothing not to love. There's so much to love here. It's just such a beautiful city, and I love it. I just love it. Happy New Year. So nice you're doing this for us on the first day of the USA's New Year. Well, Happy New Year to everyone. This is just going to be such an amazing day. It's going to be such an amazing year for all of you. Yeah, thanks, Suzanne. Nice to see you, by the way. Yeah, I am lucky with the weather. It was raining and cloudy all week. And just today, as we've begun this stream, it has miraculously opened up. So thank you. You brought good luck with you. Thanks, Lorraine, for the tip. I appreciate it. Queensland is where, yes, that's right, Colleen. Queensland is where Steve Irwin's zoo, the Australia Zoo, is located. So yeah, absolutely. When angels travel. That's right, Suzanne. So yeah, thanks. I'm so blessed to have you guys. For those meeting me for the first time, it is a superb zoo. Yeah, is anyone meeting me for the first time here today? Any newcomers to an Alex stream? G'day, all of you are just joining me. Elaine, Laura, Wendy, Linda, Noreen, Catherine. It's going to go on because we have 300 people expected today. Angela, Angela, welcome. Eva, welcome. First time of the year, yeah, I guess you could go with that too. You're new. Oh, welcome, Lynn from Michigan. So welcome to all of you. It's so nice to have you on board. I want to welcome you with open arms and with a warm heart. Hello, Catherine from Toronto. I want to welcome you all to here. I'm just so glad to have you with me. I'm going to show you the best of Australia. Not just Australia. I want to show you the best of Australia. I want to teach you everything about Australia. Hello, Laura. I want to teach you everything that you've ever wanted to know about Australia. I want to show you Australia from the locals' perspective. So I've got more to show you. In February, in January, we're going to be seeing a few things, but in February and March, we're going to be exploring uncharted territories. Well, Heygo uncharted, I mean. But yeah, so thanks for the link, TM. So you can follow my channel. You can click on the follow button up here, or you can just click on the link that TM kindly provided in the chat. You can just click on that and you can follow my channel so you don't miss out on some amazing experiences. Looking forward to this was in Brisbane 2000. Oh, Linda, that's amazing. That's so cool. 2000, that's when Sydney hosted the Olympics. And here's an interesting fact for you. Brisbane will be hosting the Olympics in 2032. That was recently announced. So let's just switch. I'm going to have one last sip of my hot chocolate. And let's begin. So, welcome to Brisbane. Brisbane is Australia's third biggest city with a population of 2.3 million people residing in this bustling, thriving, and ever fastly growing. Yes, Suzanne, I'm having a hot chocolate today. Bustling city. So many people live here. It's Australia's fastest growing city. Thanks, Natalie. Good to see you, by the way. Thanks for the tip. Australia's fastest growing city. It is a cultural city. It is a city in which the weather is thriving. 280 days of the year it is sunny here in Brisbane. So very seldomly you get poor weather and cold weather here. It's beautiful. And right behind me over here is my mate, Benny. G'day, Benny. How's it going, mate? Let's just say hi to him and then we'll begin our tour. This is an ibis. An ibis. What a cutie pie, hey? They call them bin chickens here in Australia, but we don't have them in Melbourne. So, we don't have them in Melbourne, but they're cute. They have them, a lot of them in Sydney. They're ever present in Sydney. So welcome. Now I'm here outside this beautiful post office. So we'll a Binny. Thanks, Elaine. And over here we have two things on each side. So down there where this clock is, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to include my finger. So if you want to take a picture, then just know that my finger is going to be in the picture. This is Central Station. This is the biggest train station in Brisbane. Okay. And then over here, this is an Anzac Memorial, right? And it has an eternal flame. And we're not going to go there today because there's so much to cover. And then over here, we just have more memorials. So just to show you over here. And over here, we have the Brisbane Post Office, okay? Now, this post office was originally a prison for female convicts during the when Australia when the British came to Australia, they obviously sent convicts from England, and it was first opened in 1872. It's made of sandstone, right? And it includes deep verandas and high ceilings. But it was actually, as I was saying before, it was a female. When was Brisbane? Yeah, we'll get to that in 2 seconds. I'll tell you everything about Brisbane. It is demolished in 1871, but yeah, it was built by no, it wasn't built by it was a place which housed female convicts. Now let's keep walking down. Thanks for the tip, Anne. Now Brisbane, beautiful city. So much to learn about Brisbane. Brisbane, well, we call it Brizzy or the River City. It's Queensland's capital city. Okay, Queensland is one of our biggest states. And prior to European settlement, Aboriginal tribes inhabited the area, most notably the Yugura people, whose archaeological presence went back to, I think it was 21,000 years, 21 to 25,000 years. And their estimated population prior to European arrival in Brisbane was, g'day Pan, was about 6,000 to 10,000, right? Yes, it's a very tropical climate, very humid here in Brisbane. And we've got so much to show. Look at the clouds, it's so beautiful. The city was first founded in 1824, Lillian, to answer your question. Now we're just going to walk through the post office. In 1824 it was founded, but it was founded initially as a penal colony, right? So, but actually Captain Cook, when he voyaged past the east coast of Australia, as he was circumnavigating the east coast of Australia, he came across Moreton Bay, and which is a very remote part of Brisbane, by the beach. And then that is where they placed here's a post office over here, that is where they placed their first penal colony. So they used to send the convicts who used to misbehave from Sydney, who were in Sydney, they would send them to Brisbane. Like, so there were secondary offences convicts who would commit secondary offences. So they would send them to secondary offenders. They would send them to Brisbane, to this place. But it worked out quite well because initially they were in Moreton Bay, right, which is near the bay, and then they sent them to the city centre near the river. Brisbane is known as the River City because it's got this incredibly sort of swervy river, right? It's an incredibly windy river. And they sent them there, and it conveniently worked out quite well. And I'll show you the river shortly. It's called the Brisbane River because it prevented the prisoners from escaping. They couldn't escape with the river. And then following the arrival of Christian missionaries, I'll tell you about that in a second, the region became a proper settlement in 1842. But I want to show you this, okay? That's right, Neil. Botany Bay. Now, look at this beautiful cathedral. Now, I'm not very fluent in church because I was brought up in a Jewish household, but I love the architecture of churches. And this church is absolutely stunning. This is called Cathedral of St. Stephen. Now, when Queensland was first separated from New South Wales in 1859, the government decided that Brisbane should have its own grand cathedral. So they got to work, submitted their designs. They wanted something Gothic. And then the government eventually approved it. And they began building this cathedral in 1863. So they began building it in 1863, but it took a little longer than expected because there were some issues along the way. They actually had to go through a lot of architects to build this thing. The first architect was a man by the name of Benjamin Backhouse, right? But his grand plan of wanting to create the most unique cathedral in the world didn't really come to fruition because of funding issues. They didn't want to spend that much money. So then they hired a new architect called Richard George, right? Richard George Souter, I believe. He designed the cathedral that we're looking at today. And then he was also replaced by an architecture firm called Hennessy and Hennessy. And then it wouldn't be complete until 1889. So it took them 26 years to complete this beautiful cathedral. This is the oldest cathedral in Queensland. And inside, let's see if it's open. I don't think it is, but I actually got a chance. I was lucky enough to step inside the other day. But inside it's got the It's got a variety of different stained windows that were imported from various countries: Germany, France, England, Ireland, and it's Australia's most extensive, varied collection of stained glasses. So let's see if we can have a quick little peek inside. Because what is a church if you can't enjoy the beauty of the inside? Okay, I'm going to be quiet to respect the people praying. Stunning. Absolutely beautiful church. I'll give you a chance. 3, 2, 1. You can take your postcard. And look at the stained glasses. Just give you a quick second. Look at the stained glasses. I'm a big stained glass kind of guy. I love this. Absolutely stunning church. Here's a nice shot for you. Nice postcard shot. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go. That's a beautiful church. Let's keep walking, ladies and gentlemen. We've got so much to see. This is a jam-packed day today. I've got so much to show you. Not just architecture. I've got art. I've got scenery. We're gonna have fun, right? We're gonna learn, but we're also gonna have fun. Ultimately, that's what it's about. Thanks, Linda. So, eventually, right, in the early 1840s, they kept having, up until the 1840s, in between 1824 to 25, until the 1840s, they didn't want people, regular people, free settlers settling in Brisbane at the time. It wasn't even called Brisbane at the time, because they didn't want, well, obviously it wasn't dangerous. It was a convict settlement at the time. The time is 9:08 a.m. Thanks, Shirley. Sorry if I missed out any questions. Does anyone have questions? Okay. So, but then they realized there's a lot of industry here in Brisbane, so much industry. There's timber, there was opportunity for agriculture and cattle. There was so much. The weather here feels like it's 26 degrees Celsius, 0 wind, and it's just the nicest weather I've had in my whole holiday. So I'm feeling good today. It's nice. But it is summer. It's most of the time it's summer here in Brisbane. As I was saying, they get set 270 sunny days every year, which is quite a lot actually. 270, 280, depending on what year it is. But let's just walk down here. But it's summer in Australia. It's winter in most places at the moment. We're like the opposite of every other country. Let's cross. So now we're in the city centre. We're just going to cross. Now, you're asking why, what is Brisbane? Are there any synagogues? Yes, they've got a very present Jewish community here in Brisbane, but we're not in the Jewish area. So there are no synagogues near me at the moment, but there is a Jewish community here. Let's just cross the road. Thanks, Margie. Now, let's just cross the road, okay? Now, Brisbane was actually discovered by John Oxley, right? He was like an explorer. It was worked for the government. So when he first mapped out and discovered Brisbane, it was also discovered by Matthew Flinders, who was a famous circumnavigator. He was a superstar circumnavigator. He named Australia, Matthew Flinders. But he didn't find the river. But then when Oxley came here, he discovered this windy river. Thanks, Hillary. And then he decided to name it the Brisbane River. And he named it the Brisbane River after the governor, Thomas Brisbane. Thomas Brisbane was the governor of New South Wales. He was the governor. Oh, thanks, Hillary. Thank you for the tip. He was the guy who basically said, look, we need to separate New South Wales from, look at this beautiful piece of art, from Queensland. We'll create 2 separate states. So they named Brisbane after him, Thomas Brisbane. Yes, this is the main street for shopping, Laura. Absolutely. I'll show you very soon. I'm going to show you some beautiful arcades. Look at this beautiful work of art. Vipu. This is called Territorium of Love, 2021. And that's what I love about Brisbane, right? So here's the thing, right? And then when Brisbane became a proper city, it was growing at a very fast rate. But it didn't really catch up to Melbourne and Sydney, because Melbourne and Sydney are such culturally prominent and ambitious cities. So it didn't really, in the early 20th and mid 20th century, it never really caught up to Melbourne and Sydney culturally until 1982. Brisbane hosted the Commonwealth Games. Look at this beautiful art. We'll talk about this art in 2 seconds. They hosted the Commonwealth Games. Yes. So it started becoming a proper city from 1842 onwards. And then in 1859, Michaela, it actually became separate. So Queensland separated from New South Wales and became its own state. And then Brisbane became the capital of Queensland. So how beautiful is this, right? This is beautiful. I'll talk to you a little bit more about other stuff, but I just want to talk about these sculptures quickly. These are called Echoes from the North. Look at these. Now, what do you see when you see these sculptures? I absolutely love. You attended the Commonwealth Games in 1982, Elaine. That's brilliant. I attended them in 2006 in Melbourne. So this is Echoes from the North, the name of the sculpture. It's by Augustin de Lava from 2005. Well, I see tools too. I see kids' tools, right? And the more I look at this sculpture, the more I like it, frankly, you know? My first impression was it was a silly and kid-like, but then I started reading about it a little bit more and came to realize and appreciate its symbolic significance. That's a good way to look at it. One of them looks like a claw. And firstly, it's the ideal contrast to brighten up the cities, or the city centers, how would I put it, drabness, right? Because look, it's just buildings everywhere. And then you've got this, just brightens it up a little bit. I'm going to switch it now, like this, and take a nice, better shot. And look at the colors. Now, I was reading more about this sculpture. 3, 2, 1. Let's go back. The sculpture, yes, it's the blue sky is perfect. The colors are symbolic of the landscape and environment of the state of Queensland. Okay, the metallic reds, the blues, and the yellows, they reflect on the the beauty of the tropical fish of the Great Barrier Reef. The green over there, there's green. Can you see it? It reflects on the rainforests. The white above the green. Can you guess what that reflects? Just the beautiful beaches. The beautiful beaches. And the blue represents the water, and the yellow represents the sun. So these are basically symbolic of Brisbane's beautiful climates. I want to show you a nice shot. Dolly, that's true. That's a nice shot. I love this shot. 3, 2, 1. Let's keep going. It's just beautiful. Yes, so Michaela, so as I was saying before, prior to European arrival, so the first Europeans that got here, the first European that actually stepped his foot into Brisbane was Matthew Flinders, right? Because James Cook just sailed past as he was circumnavigating Australia. But prior to European settlements, the indigenous, the Aboriginal people lived here. The Yugura people, who are the most prominent, Aboriginal tribes, and they lived by the river. And they used the river to hunt for shellfish, fish, prawns, which we call, you guys may call them shrimps. But so this is Edward Street, and we're now stepping to Adelaide Street, Elaine. And we're going to turn left shortly to Adelaide Street. Actually, I think I might have taken the wrong turn. No, okay. So we're going to go that way. I want to show you something. Is it expensive to live here? It's expensive, yeah, but it's not as expensive as Melbourne and Sydney. But it's still expensive to live here. So we are now turning into Queen Street, Elaine, as you asked. So Queen Street, which is, and the Aboriginal people lived here for 25,000 years before European settlement. And they actually, but when we first arrived here, there were about 6,000 to 10,000. But as I was saying, Brisbane culturally was not on the map until 1982, and that quickly resulted in a very snappy turn of events in which Brisbane hosted the Commonwealth Games. Following that, that's not a subway. It's funny because they have like their buses are like subways. So you think it's a subway, and I was always like, oh wow, they have a subway, but it's actually a bus. It's a bus station, from what I've realized. Anyway, very quickly. So they hosted the Commonwealth Games in 1982. When they hosted the 1982 Commonwealth Games, that really put them on the map. Commonwealth Games from those in North America, or from the US, are basically, the Olympics for former Commonwealth countries. So that's, you do, Liz. Oh, that's super cool. 10 kilometers from the city is 1 million. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, Nicole. That's ridiculous. Anyway, so then in 1988, following 1982, they hosted the World Expo. The World Expo, which was which was basically the biggest thing that they hosted until then. And look at this beautiful art. Look at this beautiful. This is on the Winter Gardens on the Winter Garden building. It's called the Winter Garden Facade. It's absolutely beautiful. And it was actually, this was erected in 2012, right? By an architecture firm called Studio 505. I'm going to walk a little bit to the side. And it was actually inspired by the vibrant, luxuriant colors of a garden. And Winter Garden's facade is a dynamic interplay between color and, I guess you could say, technical sophistication. It's about 90 meters long, and at night, it lights up. It's actually quite beautiful. Let's keep going down there. And it's got butterflies everywhere. Can you see the butterflies? It's actually quite stunning. Yes, I did not want to... Absolutely stunning, hey? Yes, a little bit, Arlene. It does. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, Shirley. Okay, car park entrance. Okay. Well, I think there's also a underground bus. Am I right, Shirley? Shirley lives here. So, Eileen, thanks for the tip. So it was the artist was an architecture firm. So I couldn't find the name of the exact artist. It was a collaboration of many people. So the architecture firm took credit for it, Studio 505. And here we have Christmas. That's right, Jill, based in Melbourne. We haven't moved on from Christmas yet. Absolutely gorgeous. And H&M's got a sale for those who are currently in Brisbane. They are cute, huh? We're going to walk underneath this reindeer. It's pretty cool. Whoop-a. And I'm just going to walk. It's pretty, eh? I mean, it's not Christmas anymore, but it's just nice to... Yeah, that's right, Tish. Exactly. That's right. Let's keep walking. And look at the cafes. You've got beautiful cafes. Now, I want to show you another beautiful part of Brisbane, okay? I like this. This stood out to me, so I did some research about it. I miss you too, MB. So nice to see you. I really missed you guys, honestly. Like, you guys are a significant part of my life. So this is called the Brisbane Arcade, as the title here suggests. Now, this is actually a historical building that contains some of the city's most charming shopping arcades. We might have a little peek in a second, but really nice shopping shops inside of here. In addition to its Art Deco style architecture, as you can tell, it was actually built by one of Brisbane's most important and mysterious colonial families, the Maynes. Now, this land was bought by Isaac Mayne, right, in 1892. And then it wasn't until 1924, that this building was built by Isaac's siblings, Mary and James Mayne. Now, the Mayne family also donated some of their land to build the University of Queensland. They had all this money, but people kept wondering, where did they get all this money from? They had a shady and mysterious past. Not many people know to this day how they got all their money. And a lot of people have speculated that their father, Patrick, had acquired his wealth from money he had stolen from a man he murdered by the river in the mid-19th century. So that's an interesting thing, how it was built, the money. Let's have a quick little peek inside. See what the fuss is all about. And thanks to all of you for everything. Thanks, Eileen, for your tip. Thanks to all of you. Thanks, Margie, for your tip. It's a beautiful arcade. Hey, look at this stunning Victorian-style decor. Now, I shouldn't be doing this. This is not part of my itinerary, but I'll show you anyway, because we're on a very jam-packed itinerary. But I just have to show you inside this arcade. It's very classy. Very, very classy. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at all the shops. Every sign here represents a different shop. So look at the flooring. I know, Carla. The flooring is stunning. Look at the roof. Look at the roof. It's just beautiful. It's a stunning arcade. Very classy. I love it. Let's keep walking because I've got so much to show you and we've got such little time. I would spend 2 hours with you if I could. I will be doing that in Melbourne. We'll be doing a 4-hour tour in Melbourne. But for now, we are in Brisbane. We only have an hour because half an hour after this tour, we're going on the massive Brisbane wheel. We're going to just hopefully be getting a panoramic view of the whole of Brisbane. And I'm happy to talk a little bit more about Brisbane's more detailed history. But there's so much to see today, and it's a great way to learn about a city's history by exploring its architecture and art, really. So let's keep walking now. Stained glass is lovely. I agree, Lorraine. Stained glass is beautiful. Andrew, they don't make them like this anymore. They certainly don't, Andrew. We've got a McDonald's here too. Yes, Colleen, I know. It's very hard. Arcade video games, we have a different meaning here in Australia. Anyone from London here? Reminds me of Covent Garden Arcade. Ahana's asking. Oh, interesting. I'll have to check that out. We've got Boost Juice. I might get a juice after. Got to stay healthy on this holiday. And here, this is Queen Street Mall. Very, very popular shopping precinct. Now, along this whole precinct, there are 700 shops. Can you believe it? Not this street, but all over. If you turn left and right, you go straight, like this whole block, it's about 700 shops. It's very bustling when it comes to shopping. It's beautiful. What is MB? I chose the church for my wedding for the stained glass, then had an afternoon wedding so the sun could shine in. Beautiful, MB. Reminded Tariq and Ollie the Bear of the Burlington Arcade in London. Amazing. Thanks for the tip, Lillian. Now check this out. How beautiful is this? Obviously we still haven't moved on from Christmas. So we've got this giant Christmas tree here. Giant Christmas tree. But you know what? We're here now. And this is King George Square. So this is Brisbane's version of Federation Square. We have Federation Square in Melbourne. It's like a tiny, tiny Times Square. But it's just a public square. It dates back to the 20th century. It's originally called Market Square, but then they renamed it in honor of King George V. And just like Federation Square in Melbourne, it's a place where people meet, they have public events and festivals are held, and they even have some amazing, fantastic open markets around here, which is pretty cool. Yes, we'll talk about this building in a second, TM. I'm excited to show you this building. I was actually chatting to the curator, because this is now, so this building over here is the Brisbane City Hall, and it's a museum of Brisbane. I was chatting to the curator of the museum. We got along really well, her and I. And then she was saying to me, you can actually, she offered me to start the tour from the top of this tower. But guess what? It opens in half an hour. So it opened an hour after I had begun this tour. But it's nice to build those connections just for the future. But anyway, I'm going to stand over there. We're going to take a nice view of this, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the City Hall, okay? Because it's absolutely beautiful. Stunning. Look how extravagant it is. You did, Lorraine? Beautiful. Yeah, it's actually quite just humbling how big it is and how just amazing it is. And let's just do an atom shot. Here you go, and you got the clock. This clock is over 50 meters tall. And it's actually, I'm shattered I couldn't take you there because of the timing, but it's got a beautiful panoramic view of Brisbane City. But we'll get that on the wheel of Brisbane. I was dead set on setting you up with a beautiful panoramic view, and we'll be getting that half an hour after this tour ends. I'm going to switch it back now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this building, is considered by many to be one of the most ostentatious, sorry for the big word, I just love that word, ostentatious, and beautiful of city halls in Australia. And I'm from Melbourne. I still think we have a beautiful city hall, but this is considered one of the biggest and most beautiful city halls in Australia. Now, the first foundation stone over here was laid in 1920, and they finally took them 10 years to complete this building in 1930. It used to be, as I was saying, this tower there used to be Brisbane's tallest building. And even today, as I was saying before, you can catch an elevator, catch a beautiful view. Sorry, I was wrong it's actually 91 meters tall, not 51. So it's 91. And it's beautiful. It is inspired by St. Mark's Campanile in Venice, in Italy. And as you can tell, it was actually built in Italian Renaissance style. So it's quite beautiful. The sculptures, they're meant to set the scene of, I'll show you the sculptures over there. Ah, you can't see them, but they're over there. I want to show you these sculptures over there. They're quite beautiful, actually. Thanks, Colleen. These sculptures are actually meant to set the scene of Australia's settlement. Oh, sorry, of the European settlement in Australia. Okay, and here you have people. This is actually a family. It's the Petrie family, and they're one of the first settlers here. They were farmers, and they all just rocked up in with their horse, and the kangaroos hopping around, just to give you an idea of what it was like to settle here for the first time. And here you have their son. You have their son over here on the left, playing with two Indigenous kids, two Aborigine kids, which is very cute. And over here, but this, they bring the horse on the boat. They sure did, MB. Back then they definitely did. So yeah, this is Tom Petrie, the son over there. And then over there to our right, we have John Petrie, who later, the guy over there who's helping his dad control the horse, he later became Brisbane's first mayor ever. So John Petrie, and he's helping his dad over there. And these are bronze. These are all made from bronze, and they were erected in 1988, which is pretty cool. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, we're going to do this, okay? I'm going to flip it back to me. If you've ever wanted to see an Aussie wrestle a kangaroo, now's your chance. Let me just see if I can. Okay, you'll see me. All right, you ready? Okay. Okay, I think I won this one. I'll tell you what, this kangaroo had abs of steel, or more like abs of bronze. Let me just... Thanks, Linda. Now, I want to show you one more thing. Am I 9 again? Well, you got to love life a little, right? Look at this beautiful deer. Oh, Raleigh. That's beautiful, huh? It's a beautiful piece of art. I did break a bit of a sweat, but I think I gave that kangaroo a run for its money. Glad you waited, Andrew. And I just want to show you these beautiful bronze lion sculptures before we proceed, because I've got so much to show you. I'm so glad that we're running well on time. These beautiful. These were... thanks, Sue. It's actually, I think these are icy poles on my shirt. Icy poles, yeah. But I can definitely see how you think it's a hot air balloon, definitely. So these were actually built with the City Hall. Absolutely gorgeous. Popsicle or icy poles. What do you guys call them, Beth? We call them popsicles or icy poles or whatever. Popsicles in Canada. Okay. Lollies? Ruth? Lollies? Okay. Oh, maybe they could be lollies. I want to show you this building over here. Okay. I just love this building, right? This is the Albert Street Uniting Church. It's lovely. In my opinion, it's not as impressive as the last one, but it's still beautiful. Just my opinion, but I love it. I just love how it looks. And this United Church was actually built in 1889. 1889. Not long after it was built, they installed this huge grand organ in it, which was shipped from England. And it was enveloped, when it was shipped from England, it was enveloped in this golden leaf. Should we have a peek and see what it looks like inside? I reckon. I'm just going to cross the road quickly. Let's see what happens. We've got a bit of time. We're actually running really good on time. I'm super happy about that. Well, the doors are open. You can have a quick little peek. And the golden leaf and the organs, they were just meant to emphasize the organ being the direct focus of the congregation. So let's just step in now. Here you go, Albert Street congregation, if you want to take a postcard of that. And let's just walk up. Let's just see what it looks like inside. Because really, again, there are two parts of a church. There's the outside and there's the inside. Let's have a quick look. Oh, great. They've got a choir. They might not let me. We'll have a quick look. I've got to be quiet. 1 second. I better go out. Stunning, hey? Absolutely stunning. Okay. Now we're going to walk a little bit down there. I want to show you so much more, and we're going to cross the river. I'm going to show you the Brisbane River. We got a service too. Hope you made your prayers. Now we're going to cross. We're going to go check out the river. We're going to cross the river. I'm going to take you to a place called South Bank. Okay? Not to be confused with South Bank in Melbourne. South Bank in Brisbane has a very similar vibe, but it's very different to South Bank in Melbourne. So we're going to cross now. Oh, yes, MB, I did get a bit of a haircut, if you're wondering. I thought before my holiday, so I can look good. Well, feel good more than anything. I don't care about the looks. But, okay, let's cross. You know, and here I've seen those. I haven't seen them. I don't know if you have them in your city. Scooters, electric scooters. These are two separate companies. But you just pay, I think, $6 for, I don't know, 30 minutes. And it's really fast. I went on one the other day, just riding around Brisbane with helmets. Yeah, but I've seen too many people not wear helmets. I don't know why. A lot of teenagers, they don't wear helmets. They just don't think, you know. Teenagers, I tell you. All right, let's go. Saw those in Heygo, Paris last. Oh, did you, Eva? That's awesome. New challenges, Dawley. Well, I'm going to be walking over a bridge this time. Don't worry. For those wondering what we're talking about, I got dumped by a wave when I was in Byron Bay. And we're just going to cross now. This is part of the city hall we're looking at. Just going to cross the street. Okay. Oh, oopsie. Sorry, guys. There we go. That's better. Can you guys see? Is it okay? I think I just hit the wire. Okay. You see, I was just talking about water and I had a little mistake. Okay. Yeah, scared you, eh? I'm just going to restart my gimbal for a second. Sorry, guys. Because it's like a little skewed to the side. 1 second. Oops. Sorry, guys. I'm back. You just got to laugh at these mistakes. There we go. All right, perfect. It's back to semi-straightness. Now we're just going to walk down here. Walking to George Street, obviously named after King George. Never. Yes, my gimbal does feel a little challenged at the moment. I think my gimbal's got a little bit of stage fright. That's what it is. Yes, we'll check out some of the beautiful restaurants and bars in the Riverview, Pamela. There are some really nice ones, actually. I'll show you. It all depends on what you like, ultimately. Let's just go a little bit down there. I want to show you more stuff. Tina, well, it is an Aussie gimbal, so yeah, it has had a bit to drink too much. But as we're walking, I want to just say Brisbane is an absolutely beautiful country. As I was saying, it's going to city. It's going to be hosting the Olympic Games in 2032. And downtown Brisbane, which is where we're walking now, was actually voted in 2003 as the world's best downtown by the International Downtown Association. It was beat cities like Los Angeles, Shanghai, Vancouver, and so on. But here's another interesting fact, right? Brisbane, it's a clean city, right? But that's not the fact. It is a clean city, though. The world's first cultivated macadamia tree lives in the City Botanic Gardens, and it was planted here in 1958 by Sir Walter Hill, who was a curator of the Brisbane Botanical Gardens. And the seed from the tree, it came from a bushland nearby, but yeah, it still grows nuts to this day. Now, why is my gimbal still skewed? I've got to say, I do love macadamia nuts. I've just got to fix my gimbal a little bit. It's a little... Okay. Let me just try something else, okay? Sorry, guys. I'm just going to try something. I want to give you the best experience possible. Okay. There we go. I think this should be fine now. Okay, I think it's a lot better now. All right, cool. Whew, little hiccup along the way. All right, let's keep walking. I want to show you more buildings. I want to show you so much more. As we're heading down, we're going to be crossing the bridge, the Victoria Bridge. Oh, yum, Lorraine. Macadamia nuts, vanilla ice cream. Thanks for the tip, Pamela. Yeah, and that's the thing, Tina. They just leave those scooters everywhere. Look at those beautiful sculptures, robot kangaroos. Robot kangaroos. Oh, no, Eva, sorry. There you go. Robo-roos. Oh, g'day, Stefan. Good to see you, mate. They do look interesting. Just to signify that if we don't look after our wildlife, they will eventually be replaced with robots. That's a very, very cool set of sculptures. I love this one. This is a flying kangaroo, isn't it? And here we've got a kangaroo sitting on the bench. You find them scary, Hannah? Yeah, well, they're not that dangerous. You got nothing to worry about. Hey, buddy, what are you up to? Oh, just chilling here on the bench, mate. Oh, mate, lounging around, are you? Yeah, mate, just chilling. Oh, you know you're not allowed to sleep on this bench, mate. Oh, look, mate, we have our own rules here, us kangas. All right, mate, well, look after yourself. All right, bye. All right, let's keep walking. This guy's looking up somewhere. Yeah, too much champagne, Tina. I don't drink champagne, but too much something. Too much, I don't drink at all, actually. Let's keep walking, let's cross. I want to show you these beautiful sculptures because I really like them. And I like them, I like just how they came about. So we'll talk about them now. These ball sculptures. Spheres. Well, that's what they're actually called. Let's cross the road. Yep. Okay, I just don't want to get run over. There you go. Okay. So these are actually called steam sculptures. Thanks, Sue. These are called steam sculptures, right? There are 15 of them. They're made of steel, right? They're steel spheres. 15 of them. Now, I want to show you something interesting, okay? These sculptures, if you look closely, and we'll talk about the building in the background in a second, but they're actually made from 7,000 steamers, vegetable steamers, and 780 plates bolted together. Can you believe it? So there are 15 of those. They're pretty big. Thanks to Hannah, thanks Nita for the tips. But that's what they're made of, right? Actually, they were erected in 2006 by Donna Marcus. Very, very talented artist, Donna Marcus. But that's right, yeah, they're made from vegetable steamers. And she's renowned for making sculptures from discarded aluminium kitchenware. And she loves transforming kitchenware into sculptures or something in completely different context. Now, here's the thing, right? Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. Here's the thing. At night, these spheres, they light up. They actually look beautiful at night. If you ever wondered about the unusual layout, like it's very arbitrary, very random, right? Look at the layout. Like they're all over the place. All over the place. But if you're wondering why she placed each one in each spot, here's the funny thing about this whole thing, right? Donna, the artist, she actually made a scaled down version of these spheres, right? She came here when it was empty, and then she just literally threw them across this whole square. Literally, as hard as she can. She threw them across this whole square. And yeah. And then that's where she basically decided to erect those giant sculptures. So wherever they landed is where she ended up erecting each one. So that's an interesting fact. Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Barbara, for the tips. It's like playing marbles, exactly. So yeah, good old Donna. Now over here, we have the Treasury building. How beautiful is that? Stunning. I love this. Is just it's got so much presence, hey? So much presence to it. Yeah, exactly, Christine. It's a great way to repurpose sculptures. Now, this Treasury building was actually built between 1886 and 1928. And they built it for the Queensland government. Now, as you can tell, it occupies an entire block. And it's extravagance. And that's the best word I can... the artist for this is... for what? Oh, for the balls, it's Donna Marcus. Donna Marcus. So just very quickly, back to the Treasury building. And as you can tell, like it's fully extravagant, which is meant to be a symbol of Queensland's self-governance in the 1890s and 1900s. The building is made from sandstone, and each phase of construction has different sandstones because they couldn't get enough sandstone to complete the whole thing. So they had different phases of construction, and they used different types of sandstones. So it's built from different types of sandstones everywhere. And now it's currently occupied by the Treasury Casino, which is owned by Star Entertainment Group, which is a casino company. It's beautiful, absolutely stunning. We certainly do, Michaela. Yes. And over there, we have the Queen Street Mall, plenty of shops. And there, underneath, over there, we've got the underground bus station, which is where the Orange is. But now it is time, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to walk across this bridge, the Victoria Bridge. I'm going to show you the whole Brisbane as we're walking over the bridge. I want to show you a beautiful sculpture. Beautiful sculpture. Yes. Well, not the further. We're up the northeast of Australia, but not the most northeast. Just northeast. Okay. Let's keep walking. It's actually quite beautiful. And Brisbane's very multicultural. People underestimate how multicultural Brisbane is. 32% of Brisbane's population was not even born in Australia. So it's very interesting. And they also have a large airport here. So you can actually travel internationally. Here we have the Brisbane Wheel, which we will be jumping on in about 45 minutes. They have the largest airport in Australia. The largest airport in Australia is actually in Brisbane. Brisbane Airport. And it's third busiest after Melbourne's airport and Sydney's airport. Stefan, where are people coming from? So a lot of people are coming from Europe and the Mediterranean, Middle Eastern regions. So those are the main places people come from into Brisbane. 2% of Brisbane's population is Indigenous. So, and you can tell, in Melbourne, you don't really notice many Indigenous people, but being here, I've noticed far more Indigenous people living here than I ever have living in Melbourne. So that's pretty cool. Thanks, Eileen. Appreciate it. So it's 27 degrees. It's nice and warm. I'm finally getting my vitamin D. Nicole's saying you should check out the West Village where the old Peter's ice cream factory is. Now, I know, I wish I could show you everything, Nicole. Unfortunately, there's only so much of this beautiful city I can show you. And here's the Brisbane Wheel. We'll talk about that shortly. But I just want you to now, we're just crossing the bridge, this giant bridge. I want you to just enjoy. Why are people moving to Brisbane? Well, Michaela, firstly, the weather here is incredible. As I said, 280 days a year, it is sunny. So you've got beautiful weather. It's not too big, but not too small. So it's 2.8 million, which is half the size of Melbourne and Sydney. More than half the size. It's also, there's a lot of industry and a lot of work here. It's the technology capital of Australia. It's thriving, it's bustling, and it's Australia's fastest growing city. So there's a lot to do here. Very welcoming, very inclusive city. I just love it here. Yeah, the wheel hasn't opened yet. It opens in 15 minutes. And just over here, I'll give you a nice... And it does have a nice feeling, Lorraine. I was so impressed with this city. I love this city. It's a beautiful city. G'day, Stephanie. Look at these buildings. And this over here, this building over here is one of the top 10 tallest buildings in Australia. But again, it's because of the spire. I don't like to count the spires, but according to architectural standards, the spire does count. So, yeah. Let's see. This reminded me of walking on the Hungerford towards the South Bank Centre in London. Similar view. Oh, that's super cool. Thanks for the factory. Now look at the river. The Brisbane River. The Brisbane River is interesting because it's very, very windy. It's probably the windiest river I've ever... How far from Melbourne? I can't tell you exactly, but it'll take 2.5 hours to fly to Melbourne. Maybe 2.5, maybe 2 hours to fly to Melbourne from here. Yeah, so we are... So, Michaela, if you walk down this region, that's the Botanical Gardens. It's just down there. So you can actually go and check out the Botanical Gardens. They're beautiful. There's so much to see. Thanks for the tip, Gail. Appreciate it. And let's just keep walking. And this is called the Brisbane River. Huge river, very swervy, very windy. But it's a very important spot for the Indigenous people. They used to love fishing here. And again, so basically all along this strip was a convict, where it was a prison. So that's where basically they housed all the convicts when they were building this settlement and where they were being sent to labor. And the reason they strategically placed it here was because the convicts could not escape, because a lot of them didn't want to like jump into the river. It was a nice barrier to prevent convicts from escaping. So, but yeah, there was a huge strip of convicts barracks here. Is it a tidal river? It is... No, it isn't. No, it isn't, Hillary. Not from my knowledge. You went rock climbing with Mark. Yes. Opposite the Botanical Gardens. Yeah, I walked past there the other day. It's beautiful. Did you and Liv fly or drive? We flew here. Risa? Eva, yeah, once, a long time ago. But yeah, it's, it doesn't really count, right? This is like a proper visit. Yes, I will, Sue. I'm planning more trips here in Brisbane. I really, really just love this city. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's keep walking. Can you do a boat trip? Yep, there's an amazing park out of town. Yeah, I know, Linda. There's some beautiful parks out of town. I'll tell you about that after MB. But yeah, he's doing very well. He's doing very well. All right, and you see now the wheel is moving. The wheel is moving. Oops, sorry, mate. This guy did not want to get out of my way. How rude. All right, let's just keep moving. What is the brick building? So the brick building over here, so over here we've got the museum, the Queensland Museum. Then we've got the Queensland Centre of Performing Arts. And over here, this is a monument. Do you want to walk a little bit closer? We can explore it a little bit. But now, Sue, I'm going to South Bank. This is cross, but I want to show you something quite beautiful here. The Victoria Bridge abutment. How beautiful is that? And this is just to commemorate those who fought in World War One. Absolutely stunning, hey? Oh, big time, Renee. So the Olympics are really going to give Brisbane this incredible boost that it needs and wants. I'm going to show you something beautiful now, okay? We're going to take an amazing picture. It's going to add a lot of color to your postcard collection. So just bear with me. We're just going to finish crossing the bridge. And then if we have some time, I want to show you the street beach. Have any of you heard of the street beach? It's on the cover of this tour. It's a man-made beach in the middle of the city. So we're going to show you that. That'll be the last thing I'll show you today. No trams in Brisbane. Their main forms of transport are trains, buses, and ferries. So along the river, you can catch a ferry from one suburb to another. It's pretty cool. And now I want to show you something beautiful. Have a look at that sculpture over there. It says Brisbane on it. So let's go check it out. I want to thank you all for being here with me. I really feel energized by your company. I feel revived. I love you guys. I noticed that, Eileen, when I drove past Newcastle. Yeah. Yes, Renee. A lot of Melburnians have relocated to Brisbane. A lot. Yeah, we've had a massive surge of people coming to relocate to Queensland, Gold Coast, and Brisbane from Melbourne. 90,000 people have left Melbourne following the lockouts. And I'm being conservative now with this number. Now look at this over here. This is beautiful. How beautiful is this? This is something they change the artwork every. Oh, you're welcome, Arlene. How beautiful is that? Because it's warmer climate. Yes, because it's warmer climate, and I guess people just didn't like the policies of the lockdown, so a lot of people just left as well. Now, I'm going to stand near this sign. We're going to take a nice selfie. Sorry if I missed anyone's questions. I'll answer them in a second. Oh, yeah, you can go. It's all good. You can be part of the photo. Sorry. You like it? It's a gimbal. So when I walk, it controls the camera so it doesn't shake. Yeah. That's what you want? Yeah, look it up. Gimbal Osmo 4. Yeah, Osmo. See you guys. Okay, making friends as we go. Okay, so I missed all your comments. Let's see. Susie, are the lockdown policies less stringent in this state? They had shorter lockdowns than us. Yeah, we've had the longest lockdowns in the world. Well, in total, the longest. We've been locked down longer than any other city in the world. So a lot of people from Melbourne have left. Some guy jokingly was like, oh, yeah, you guys are from Melbourne? We call you guys refugees. I was like, all right, mate, all right. I don't want to get into that. Okay. Aluminium, Neil. I know you guys say aluminum in the US, but we say aluminium here in Australia. At least I'm healthy and safe, yeah. And here I am running a gimbal workshop for you guys. Oh, no, not for you, for them, while I'm with you guys. Now we're going to be on this wheel in about half an hour. If you want to wait another 5 minutes, we'll be at the beach. We're going to head to the beach. There is no beach here, but there is a beach, if you know what I mean. So we're going to head there now. Thanks, Fatima. Appreciate it. And as I'm walking, you can ask me questions or we can just chat. Robin, hope you don't get stuck going around 3 times like Stefan did on his... I heard about that. I heard that Stefan got stuck and he couldn't get off. Was that in Belgium or Amsterdam? Either way, that is 12 times. Well, I've got to say, lucky you. Lucky you, my friend. And how beautiful is that? That's called the South Bank Grand Arbor. How beautiful is that? It leads you into the botanical gardens. Let's walk through it, okay? It's a beautiful pedestrian walkway that just cuts through South Brisbane. And it's about 1 kilometer in length, which is, I believe, 1 kilometer is about 70 miles. Sorry, 700 miles? No, I don't know, 0.7 miles. I think that's how it is. Yeah, so 0.6 miles. Thank you, Arun. I'm still working on my transitions from kilometers to miles. But yeah, it's about half a mile. And it's a great way to sort of like cut through and just enjoy a nice mindful walk. It's absolutely beautiful. And it is a tunnel of a tree. It's just stunning and picturesque. And that's part of why I was so impressed with Brisbane when I first came here. It's just... And this walkway was actually designed by Denta Corker Marshall architecture firm. And you see those steel columns? There are 443 of those steel columns, right? And they're absolutely beautiful. And it's open to pedestrian traffic 24 hours a day. Absolutely. Type of foliage on Arbor? I believe so, Gail. Yes. Yes, Arun. Hopefully we walk past the Nepalese pagoda, but hopefully we're a little short on time now. I want to show you the beach now, okay? And to our right over there, thanks for the tips. Thanks to all of you for your tips. I really appreciate it, honestly. Really means a lot. Thank you, all of you. Oh, Linda, perfect. Well, we'll see you in Australia then. Oh, thanks, Susie. Yeah, well, I work very hard, to get to where I am. It takes a lot of hard work, and it took some hard work for my holiday, but I prepared for it before my holiday. I did a lot of the researching and learning before my holiday. I don't even like to use the word memorizing, because if you truly enjoy it, you're learning it. You're not memorizing. To me, just feels like you're just parroting everything that you're saying, but I'm actually learning as I go. So this is the South Bank Piazza, and this is a beautiful multi-purpose venue, and it's just lovely. They have a lot of it's an amphitheater. It's covered by a sound shell, as you can tell, and has a capacity of 2,100 people. So it's pretty. It's got a pretty decent capacity, and this is where they're going to be holding the 3-on-3 basketball competition in the Olympics. And here we have a train. We'll go through. This train goes through the arbor. It's beautiful. Thanks, LS. How cool is this train? Not just for kids, but for everyone. I know it looks like a kid's train, but it's for everyone. In fact, I might just... Thanks, LS. I appreciate it. Here's a little peek of the piazza. But we're not here for the piazza. I mean, we are, but we're not, because I want to show you the beach. I want to show you something you've never seen before. Well, I wish I had time. I would ride it with you guys. But we have a wheel to catch in half an hour, my friend. So let's go check out the beach. Okay? And we're going to turn left here. Here's a nice little, full swing. But you got to have fun, Andrew. That's the thing. We just need to have fun. Are you? That's so cool. Okay. And here we are now. South Bank. I call it South Bank Beach, but it's called Street Beach because Street is like an ice cream company in Australia, so they've sponsored it. It used to be known as Kodak Beach. They were the previous sponsors. Now it's Street Beach. But look at this. It's a beach. It's a man-made beach, and it was completed in 1992, right? It's actually 2,000 square meters in size. Do not ask me how much that is in feet. I do not know the answer. But it's pretty big. 2,000 square meters is pretty big. And the sand was actually sourced from Moreton Bay. Moreton Bay, which is in the outskirts of Brisbane. It's like a beach in the outskirts of Brisbane. This is in the middle of the city. We've got a pool. So this is a pool, but then there's a beach, an artificial beach. Here we've got a lifeguard over here. How beautiful is this? Absolutely stunning. It's free, Linda. Anyone can come here. Kids love coming here. The water is chlorinated and it's recirculated every 6 hours. Every 6 hours, they recirculate the chlorinated water up to 125 liters per second. So it's very well maintained. I know, Arlene. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the skies. Now look at the beach itself. We're going to sit on the beach as we wrap this up. And there's so much to show you. Brisbane is just such a not culturally diverse city, but it's just a architecturally diverse city. It's an artistically diverse city. It's got so much diversity in many ways. Oh, I'm going to step on with my shoes. I'm going to get sand in my shoes now. I know, unheard of. No, it's free. I'm stepping in the beach now. If I wanted to, I could just jump in the water. Now I'm going to... Any sharks? You know what, Sid? It is Australia. I wouldn't be surprised. How cool is this beach, huh? Absolutely cool. Absolutely beautiful, hey? What's the temperature of the water? Well, I don't know the exact number, but let me feel the water, and I'll tell you what it feels like, okay? Oh, wow. The water feels like it's about 18 degrees. So it's cold. Let's just walk. But it's so hot in here, you actually want to jump in the water. Is that connected to the pool water? Yes, yes, it is, Neil. They're all connected. It's just that the surface color is different, so it looks like a different water, but it's the same water as the pool water. Where does the sand come from, Francesca's asking? Great question. So the sand comes from Moreton Bay, which is east of the city of Brisbane. It's a beach bay. It was the first bay to be discovered by Captain Cook in 1770. And he named it Moreton Bay. And they source the sand from here, and they keep adding the sand to keep it looking fresh. But this is it, ladies and gents. South Bank Beach-ish. Beach-ish. So I'd love to live here, Beck. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Very different to Melbourne. Thanks for the tips. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. Would I go in this water? I might actually. I might today go for a bit of a swim in this water. Why not? Why not? I want to thank you. I want to thank you. Oh, why is it? Oh, there you go. It was pixelated for a second. I want to thank you all for your time. I want to thank you for your company, for just your brilliant, brilliant companionship. You guys are just the funnest, the best. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something new about Brisbane. I hope you got to see Brisbane from a walking local perspective. Well, I'm Australian, from an Australian perspective. You're welcome, Michaela. And yeah, this is I appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate it. This is so much fun for me too. You're welcome, Eileen. You're welcome, all of you. Thanks, Katie. Thanks to all of you. This is a lot of fun for me. I love you guys. You're amazing. Thanks to all of you for your support, for your tips, for following my channel. However you decide to help and support, it is appreciated, believe me. You can also share this experience on the group if you really, really enjoyed it, on the Heygo Voyages group or in my Alexander Down Under group. You can share the experience. You can follow my channel by clicking on the link. I think one of you provided the link. I can't see the name, but whoever did, then thank you. Or you can just click follow up here so you don't miss out on more tools. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to showing you much more. Thank you, guys. I really, really appreciate it. You're absolutely welcome, Nicolette. Thank you. Thank you, Stefan, for sharing the link. Thanks again. You can click on the link again and you can go to my channel, you can follow it, and I'll be heading to the wheel in about 25 minutes. 2 a.m. for you in Israel, Dolly. Oh, yeah. Well, oy vey. Well, you have a good night, my friend. And I'll, how long will you be there? Oh, Mary, I'll be there for another day. And then tomorrow I'm heading to the Sunshine Coast. And I'll be showing you the Sunshine Coast, which is a beautiful region. We'll be going to Mululaba Beach, which is beautiful. So we'll see you then. We'll see you then. I like that, Sid. We'll see you then. And yeah, love you guys. And we'll speak soon. See you guys. Bye. See you soon. 1,000 kisses to you guys.